Smack talking raw, where the legends live and the rookies get schooled in law. This ain't just talk. This is smack talking raw. You ready, Pinky? Judge always Ron. Let's lay the smack down. Boom.
What's going on, guys? It's Pinky with Smack Talking Raw. And there's our boy, Ronstradamus. What's up, player?
You were about to say, I heard it, brother. I heard it. Monstradamus. I like it. How you doing, big dog?
I'm feeling good, baby. I'm feeling good.
You know, I'm before we get into this, I'm just letting everybody know that it is the Pink Dog's birthday on
February 1st.
I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing. If you want to chime in because you know the song and you want to break it down, we're gonna sing happy birthday to my boy. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Pink Doggy. Happy birthday to you. There it is, Pink Dog.
Next year, I want a guitar. I want you doing that with a guitar.
Hold up, I'm
playing in it.
I'll get the guitar right now. We'll get it cracking. The honky tonk man. Bam!
How you doing, player?
Man, I'm really good. You know, the thing that I really have been paying attention to is I see that there's a little bit of an upheaval in professional wrestling, in NFL, in basketball. It just seems like everything is in a bit of chaos right now. You got people, the Lakers want to trade LeBron. Yes, get rid of him. I'm ready for the king to be gone. Let's do something else. You got coaching changes in the NFL. And I know you guys are talking about that on Sports Nonsense and Whiskey. So I'm not going to steal your guys' thunder on that. But there's so much stuff that's going on right now. And you said you have a lot of stuff to talk about today. So the thing I want to talk about real quick, we're going to start a rant real quick and real early because, you know, it is time to make it happen. Yes, Oliver, I love WWE when it's being the entertainment. Right now, it's a little bit of WWC crap. Let's get after it. So this segment that we do right now is Ron's rant. So what I'm going to rant about is Sami Zayn. So for those of you that like Sami Zayn, you might want to tune out because I'm about to lay into Sami Zayn like no other. So the thing that I'll share with you is this. Sami Zayn winning a world heavyweight title is unbelievable in my brain. I can't comprehend him ever holding a world heavyweight championship. He already held a NXT championship, and that was cool because that was down in the lower divisions of WWE. But for him to be better than Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, etc. I'm telling you right now that at the end of the day, yes, I did see Sami versus Drew McIntyre. I've seen Sami versus Kevin Owens. I've seen Sami versus Roman Reigns. And he's always the underdog that never can get over that hump. Well, in this issue of Ron's rant right now, I feel like I can beat Sami Zayn. So if Sami Zayn wins the title, I'm going to start training like crazy, and I'm going to wrestle him at WrestleMania 44. And that's what I got to say about that.
Well, he won't have the title by then. He ain't going to hold it long if he does win it. So, all right, Ron, we got a lot to get through tonight. And we will talk more about Sami Zayn. It's going to come up. Let me get our graphics going on. And we will get rocking and rolling. All right, we're going to start out with the men's rumble, and that's just because it's first on my screen. Holy moly. Holy moly, buddy. We are big fans of Oba. I think we've been big fans since he was ruling at NXT, and to see the main roster finally get to see this guy, because not everybody's crazy and watches NXT like we do. The crowd was they knew exactly what to do. They knew what to chant. They knew what to do. Oba, Oba. Oh man, I love it. I love it. Let's see here. We got a lot of stuff going. So, what did you think of Oba starting number 1?
You know, I when I was ultimately looking at what was going to happen with the Royal Rumble, I thought it was brilliant that he did come in number 1. I thought he should have lasted longer. Like at the end of the day, he didn't need to win the Royal Rumble, but it would have been really nice if he'd have lasted to like in the mid-20s or even towards the end, because then that would immediately give him the bona fide, this is the next big thing in WWE. Having him get thrown out, it leads to the possibility of him and Brock Lesnar fighting at a WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber or something like that. So there's some good technical writing there, but I thought that he had a great showing. It was amazing watching him toss people out and everything like that. And just his presence, he doesn't look like a NXTer that needs to get acclimated to the main roster. He looks main roster ready right now.
He is ready. He is ready big time. So I love that he got in some good spots, right? He got in with Cody. He got in with, let's see. I got another one here. He got in with this part. Oh, man. I don't know about you, but I was just sitting here dreaming.
Yeah.
Like, this is a WrestleMania or SummerSlam match, and I am all for it. This needs to happen. They never got to do a whole lot.
When I saw Oba next to Brock Lesnar, he showed me Brock's age. Brock has aged, because there was a time where Brock was Oba Femi, and it's really cool to watch that transition, because Oba needs to be the guy that puts Brock Lesnar down. Like maybe they wrestle at WrestleMania to a disqualification, and then they go. I know they're going to try to get Gunther and him to be the final match or whatever, but Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, that is an outstanding clash. Wait, just writing itself to be happening.
When he suplexed Oba, he's one of the few guys that can do that. Like, there's not many guys that can suplex Oba Femi. It's just not happening. Oh, let's see here. I got so many different graphics. I love this moment. Spider-Man meme. Who's the good El Grande? Who's the bad El Grande? I don't know. Do you know? They both got thrown out pretty quick right after this, so at least it was fun to see it. But I tell you, I think our man Trick Willie got him both.
You know, the only thing I disliked about that set is that they have all the other Americanos. So it took away from that moment from the standpoint of, okay, this is the 4th Americano or the 5th Americano that you have in the ring. Like it didn't really have that same luster that the other ones have, but good part all the same.
It's your comedic relief, right?
Yeah.
This guy looked like a freaking monster. Tell the people about Royce Keys.
So a lot of you that may not watch other programming, Royce Keys, previously known as Powerhouse Hobbs, he's been multi-time champion in other organizations. He really is a huge dude. I don't know how we ultimately are going to see him underneath the WWE banner though, because he came out, he tossed some people out and everything like that, but he's not like I'm going to come out and give a great promo. He's kind of like the Mark Henry kind of guy when Mark Henry first came to WWE. He's just straight power and he's straight intimidation, but he's going to need to get like a manager or somebody with a mouthpiece that's going to be able to carry him in the ring to make him interesting, because otherwise he's just going to just dwell. He's going to become a Rusev, or he's going to become a Sheamus kind of character in this era.
JC Mateo.
JC Mateo, yes.
powerful, agile, actually does really good work in the ring, but you don't hear from him. There's no superstar quality to him. He's a mid-carder that you want him to win a little. You want to sprinkle in a couple wins for him and then have him lose quite a bit, right?
Right.
And that's kind of where, like, do we need Royce Keys for that? Like, I'm not sure, but he looked great. He looked big, powerful, and I'm interested to see where they go. I know they haven't really said if he's going to be on Raw or SmackDown. He didn't show up on Raw last night, so I'm feeling like he's going to SmackDown. So we'll see. But I thought that was interesting. We had Brock Lesnar. Okay, so one of the things about Brock Lesnar, actually, hold on. Let me go back just one. Brock Lesnar comes out at 22. He was in the ring for like 5 minutes. This guy is one of the beasts. I think he still holds the record for the most eliminations in a men's rumble. Like, he probably could eliminate every single person. If there's 10 people in the ring, he could go through all of them, like, at any point. And you would expect it, right? It's Brock Lesnar. He's the beast. My problem with this dude got eliminated during Jey Uso yeeting to the ring. Like, not even in a big spot. Just like Jey Uso's yeeting to the ring, taking up so much time, and then Brock Lesnar went over. You're like, what the hell was that? This is where the Rumble, I felt like the Rumble was doing a good job. We're doing great. We're doing great. And then it went off the cliff. And everything was ruined for me after that. What do you think about that?
You know, I'm kind of sick of Jey Uso. That yeet thing, it had its place, and it does have its place, you know, when you're coming out to a singles match or what have you. But the challenge that Jey Uso has is that, and maybe that's the point, is they're going to get the fans so sick of him that they'll like start to boo him and what have you, because you can only do so many yeets, and then somebody comes in the ring and they're like, let's you want to run it back, and then it's happening in the middle of the Rumble, and it's just lost it. It was great at a time and it was fun to watch it, but now it's kind of like Hogan with this.
Right. I was kind of sad. My boy Penta, he was Iron Man at last year's Rumble, and this year there wasn't a lot memorable for my man Penta. I feel bad for him on that one. I don't feel like the Luchadors got represented well between him, El Grande, La Parka, Mr. Iguana, Dragon Lee. I think Ray Phoenix was in there. Maybe Ray Phoenix versus, I don't know if it was Ray or Dragon Lee, but none of it was memorable. And I like that. I didn't like that part. There was just nothing memorable from the Luchas. Even though they did a great job of including them, they just nothing really memorable that you would be like, oh yeah, I remember they were in it. This actually is a moment that I did really enjoy because it fits the story. It fits what's going on. Drew McIntyre, after his match, just coming out, F you, Cody, kicking him, knocking him out of the ring. How great is that?
You know, Drew McIntyre, and he gets a lot of flack because he lost to Cody Rhodes a lot in 2025, and he finally wins the title and everything. But the thing I will tell you is that Drew McIntyre is one of the most entertaining parts of wrestling in the last 3 years. The character, you know, I'm bored at work. Don't look up under my skirt, my kilt, you freak. You know, all the different things that he's come up with over the last couple of years as he brings attention to the product in a way that nobody else really is right now. So I think that him, you know, giving the Claymore to Cody in that scenario just builds for their WrestleMania match.
I don't know what that means there, Oliver.
Oliver, maybe you might be I need to be a little bit more clear. Text that again. But the thing that I'll share with you is that Drew McIntyre, they need to make him into a monster. That dude is incredible. When he was in his matches with CM Punk, when he was in his matches with a variety of other different people over the last. His match with Sheamus and Gunther at WrestleMania 39. All of these different matches had a lot of his stamp on it of sheer brutality, and
Right.
they're going too much into his comedic part and not remembering that he is the Scottish warrior and he is somebody that can come in there at any time and take your head off.
I mean, that's the game they're playing right now, Oliver. They're playing that game of he hates Cody, because that's what you do. He's never liked corporate Cody, right? Cody's the quarterback. He's number one. He's the face of the WWE right now. So, what does the best heel in the game do? He attacks him, goes after him, and creates that rivalry that we need. He's doing the best work in the men's division, hands down. I agree with everything you said about him. I love this. I do think it pretty much leads into somehow, some way, Cody or Jacob Fatu is winning Elimination Chamber, and we're gonna get a 3-way at WrestleMania. Like, that's happening. I feel like they've telegraphed it. It's like they've put themselves into this corner. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I remember last week I was talking about how they should handle the Crown Jewel heavyweight championship match. That the person that wins that match should be like they get a bye and they go on to WrestleMania and they're going to fight whoever either chooses them or they fight against the person that doesn't choose them. But the person that loses that match has to then go into the Elimination Chamber and defend their title inside of that match. So it's kind of like when you're the number one seed in the NFC or the AFC, there's a bye for getting that round. And so it makes that crown jewel match that much more important that people are like, I don't want to go in the Elimination Chamber match because that puts me at a disadvantage for fighting at WrestleMania if I defend my title, right? So I think that would be a great way to get more eyeballs on the product because people would want to see who's going to win that match because the winner gets a bye pretty much to WrestleMania. The loser has to fight at Elimination Chamber plus WrestleMania if they even win in the Elimination Chamber. What do you think about that?
I love that. Again, it just continues to raise the stakes, and that's what we need to. That's what we need to do. Things need to have consequences. They need, there's got to be things that matter. I love that. Oliver, yes, I'm glad you brought it up, Oliver. Thank you for that. They didn't have a good picture of it on WWE that I was when I was gathering clips for the show. Braun Breaker getting attacked by the Masked Man at number 2. Ron Stradamus, knowing your track record of knowing what's going on, who's the Masked Man?
So I have a couple of different candidates for it. So I'm thinking that it was either Logan Paul. I was thinking that it's Seth Rollins himself or Adam Pearce.
Okay. I think it's Seth. I don't think it's Seth Rollins. Like, I don't think he was in the mask, but I do, or maybe he was, but I do think it's Seth Rollins. They'll have it as Seth Rollins because again, Braun Breaker turned on him. And Braun Breaker, those are receipts that are still coming his way.
Yeah.
Oh, that it makes sense to me that having Seth Rollins do it, it makes sense. Or it's Austin Theory or Logan Paul on behalf of Seth Rollins, right? Because they joined the Vision after Seth Rollins was kicked out.
Right.
So I do think it's Seth Rollins. Oh. That's an interesting one, Oliver, with Chris Jericho. I just don't know if they want to. I don't know if they want to just drop him into this Vision vortex as his comeback. I don't know.
Yeah, and plus the person that had the mask on had a beard. So Chris Jericho, right. He does have a beard, but he also has long hair. So having all that stuff covered up in the mask, I don't know if that would be all attainable in this situation. But who knows? We'll see what happens.
All right. And then we got to talk about Roman Reigns. I can't quite 26. He came out at 26. The final four was Roman Reigns, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Gunther, who came out at 30. I don't even know why Gunther was in the match, man. Like that just didn't. It just didn't make sense to me to have Gunther in the match after he already had a match that night. I know it's possible, but when you think about how many people they have on the roster, Finn Balor, wouldn't he have made sense at 30? He found his way into the Rumble. I don't know. Having Gunther in it was kind of threw me off. I didn't like it, and I love Gunther.
There is so many people that weren't inside of the Rumble. I mean, like I have a real big issue with you got La Parka and you got Iguana, Mr. Iguana. There, I understand the contract that WWE has with AAA and everything, but at the end of the day, you have main roster talent that wasn't showcased in this environment. So, again, it's the booking. You know, they should bring Triple H and put his ass back in the ring and somebody just lay him out so we can get somebody else to be in creative. Okay, next.
And congratulations to you. You predicted Roman Reigns would win the Rumble. And as you can tell by this picture, you were right. You were right. My pick, Braun Breaker, got eliminated right away.
Yeah.
Like, he's gone. Because Roman Reigns is such a part-timer, I really hate this. And I also don't like the fact that, I mean, Roman Reigns, he has built himself to a point. He doesn't need this to get a title match. He doesn't need Royal Rumble. He doesn't need Elimination Chamber. He doesn't need Money in the Bank. He is at a point now where you could basically give him a title shot anytime you want. And we would be like, cool. Like, Roman's that guy. Like, he gets a title shot. I really hated this. What did you think?
So for the first time, the booking climate within WWE was better this time, because for the last couple years, Roman Reigns has stepped down from the world title picture. So when you're somebody that hasn't been in the title picture, it's not as easy to just say, I want a title shot unless you're John Cena. So the fact that he had to go through a few men in order to get to that spot and be a main eventer at WrestleMania, which that also led to the Monday Night Raw segment, whatever, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I think that this was brilliant as far as like making the world title relevant, because right now, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, CM Punk, who's my dude,
he is your guy.
And I'm sick of him. It's time for him to hang him up. He's just not putting on the same quality of product anymore. So it's really important that if we're going to have that match between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, let's do it now. Maybe it brings out the best in both of these guys, and then we can start to transition to the new generation of wrestlers that are already starting to show up here. Braun Breaker, Obafemi. I was watching a podcast earlier today, and they're asking a question. They're like, Bronson Reed beat Roman Reigns 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. And since then, he's been jobbing out to Penta. He's been jobbing out to a variety of different people on count-out losses. Where in the frick is the writing, man? You get somebody as big as Bronson Reed and you're putting him in a jobber situation. That's a discredit to our former champion, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And he had every right to go on Pat McAfee's show and bitch about it, because he was the dude. He was the dude for 4 years. Now, everybody will criticize the fact that he couldn't defend the title on his own. He had the bloodline messing around and all this sort of stuff. So did Ric Flair for so many years. He had the 4 horsemen coming out all the time to just take people out all the time. That was a part of his mystique, right? Like, who's going to come out and help you this time or what have you? And when he bowed out to Cody at WrestleMania 40, I think that was one of the great time-honored traditions of like, I'm passing the torch on to you, Cody. And the thing is that Cody Rhodes, in his 2 years of being champion, he's done nothing with the title. He's had a couple good matches. Kevin Owens, He fought Drew McIntyre for what it seemed like 70 years. And you know what I mean? He beat Drew McIntyre.
So, you know Cody's thing, man. The kids love Cody. Cody's the Hulk Hogan and John Cena of this era right now, because he's the guy that the kids and the families can get behind. His music, his presentation, he's pretty good in the ring. Besides the Cena match at WrestleMania, I haven't really seen a lot of bad Cody matches. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about selling tickets with Cody, and that's why his run's not special. But it is what it is, right?
What?
Don't you do me like that, Ron.
Cody Rhodes.
Don't you do me like that.
Stardust. And I can't get that on my head because he should still be Stardust.
So we'll get back to Roman here in a little bit. All right. It's time to talk about the emotional moments of the evening. We got AJ Styles in a retirement match against Gunther. We all knew what was going to happen. Like we just knew. We knew what was going to happen. I think they put on a pretty darn good match, though. What'd you think of the matches? Just the quality of it.
You have two different styles of wrestling. You got Gunther, who's the brawler, and you got AJ, who's the mat technician. They somehow put that together, and it was nice to watch. The problem that I was distracted with is that during John Cena's retirement tour, he beat AJ Styles. Gunther's the one that retired John Cena. So how can AJ Styles come back and be a competitor against Gunther in that space? I just couldn't get beyond that. So it was like I knew that Gunther at some point in time was going to beat AJ Styles. It was just a matter of when.
Right. And that's basically what it was. It's like, I know this is going to happen. I just don't know how long they're going to run this match for. And then, of course, it was very similar to the scene. It wasn't quite like the Cena match where they really drew out the choke and the Cena coming back and then getting out of it. And then, the whole crowd was just into it of like, don't give up. Don't give up. Like, we didn't quite have that in this match. It was actually pretty quick that before you know it, Styles was choked out. He did not tap out, but he was choked out. And then, of course, we've got AJ in the ring getting his thing. Now, what I felt was really weird about this is there's a moment where AJ Styles takes off his gloves, looks like he's going to put him in the center of the ring, and then doesn't. Right? Signifying he's not done. He's done in WWE, and his contract actually expires next week. But he's not done wrestling. What do you think's next for AJ?
AEW.
You think he's going to go to AEW?
I think he'll go to AEW because they'll give him a nice little send-off, just like they've done all of their wrestlers that have left their program, versus the WWE. We just kind of like, all right, piss off kind of thing. He could go to TNA, which could lead to a storyline where he actually does get retired or something like that, because that's where he grew up in. But I think that personally, he's going to go to AEW.
Okay.
What do you think?
I feel like he's going to do an AEW for a couple months. And from what it sounds like, the internet community would really love the payoff to Kenny Omega and AJ Styles, because Kenny Omega kicked him out of the Bullet Club, which AJ helped create. So getting that payoff at maybe AEW All In. And then AJ can then sign with TNA and finish out his year in TNA, which then will also help TNA with their new AMC deal and trying to hype up TNA, having an actual cable provider to help them. I think that'd be a good way for him to uplift TNA and then also get a good send off as well. So fingers crossed for AJ. Thank you for all you've done. I did think it was weird though. Like, Goldberg retired, people came out from the locker room. Cena retired, of course, they came out from the locker room. For AJ, nothing.
So that's what said to me that he's going somewhere else. So they didn't want to give him that rub in the middle of the ring.
Right. Let's see. So then we've already talked a little bit about my man, the Scottish Warrior, being the best in the game. I still wish he came down with the sword, man. Like, I feel like when he was wielding that big ass claymore, like, yeah, like he made me want to go buy a claymore and a kilt just so I could be like Drew McIntyre and build up these big muscles, right? Because you got to have big muscles to hold that
Vince
sword.
McMahon's sword, so that's the reason why he doesn't have it anymore.
Oh, we had Drew versus Sami Zayn. What were your overall thoughts of this match?
I just am not a believer in Sami Zayn, and I know eventually he's going to get a world title in his belt. I believe Sammy is a great intercontinental champion type player, United States championship type player. That's his realm. The challenge is when you try to put him in the big boys seat. I don't see Sammy sitting there without having one of those tables around you and a bib and a bottle. He's not big enough to play that role. His in-ring work is okay. His underdog, I'm going to overcome things is okay. His haluva kick is okay. There's nothing about Sami Zayn that screams out to me, future world champion. Obafemi, Sami Zayn. Let me see who else. Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn. CM Punk, even though I'm kind of down on him right now, Sami Zayn. Karrion Kross, who's no longer in WWE, or Sami Zayn. I just don't see Sammy being the criteria for what a world heavyweight championship is married out to. Because when you're world heavyweight champion, you carry yourself with a certain swag. And Sammy's swag is I'm the underdog, and somehow I'm gonna that's not a champion. That's not a champion. And I just can't get behind that as far as that goes.
I mean,
and I know at some point in time they're gonna put a belt on him. So there's that.
Sami Zayn to me is like Daniel Bryan. I never got behind the whole Daniel Bryan thing. I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan. To me, he's kind of meh. And that's what I kind of see from Sammy. Like, if it's not for the underdog shtick, he doesn't have anything. There's nothing that makes me go, oh, I got to watch a Sami Zayn match. I think Sami Zayn does put on good matches. So I think they're good, and he's a good performer. But there's nothing about him that says I want to put the belt on him and sell T-shirts and, have big matches against other guys. You put him in the ring with Roman, Drew, Cody,
Kevin,
my guy Fatu, like they're all kicking his ass.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm out. I'm out on Sammy. Take that big old Claymore.
Yeah, eat that boot right there, Samuel.
I was happy because I did feel like there was that chance that Sami Zayn could win this match in front of the Saudi crowd, get that pop, and then what's happening. But Sami Zayn versus anybody before WrestleMania just does like that. This just doesn't sell tickets, man.
Right.
So, all right. So let me go back now. I got to get back to the women's Royal Rumble. How's this for an entrance? Oh, she looked great. Charlotte Flair looked great. She did great. I think she was the Iron Woman. I think.
Yeah, she's been there for a long time this year, for sure.
And I did like she came out number 1. Alexa Bliss came out number 2. And of course, they being tag team partners just kind of messed around in the first minute and a half, waited for Kiana James to come out. Didn't actually do anything to each other. But that was fitting. And it also, again, led to, this moment a little bit later. Well, Charlotte Flair accidentally took Alexa Bliss out, starting to sow those seeds
Yes.
of breaking them apart, which we need it, man. Like, especially on SmackDown, we need it. SmackDown's women's title picture is so bad. Jade Cargill is literally like BFAB, Meechin. Now she's kind of feuding with Jordynne Grace. I like Jordynne Grace. I do think there's some big things on the horizon for Jordynne Grace. But the women's world title, and she's feuding with mid-carders. That makes zero sense. But also, there's not a whole lot on SmackDown. They've kind of reduced Nia Jax. Nia Jax is in this tag team thing with Lash Legend. Charlotte and Alexa have been doing the tag team for a while. They need to break up all these tag teams. Get these main eventers back to where they belong, feuding amongst each other versus tag teams. So if you think about it, like half the women's Rumble was all tag teams based on who's in there, right? I got to highlight. I'm going to say this is one of our girls because I think we both like her and have been pumping her up. Sol Ruca.
Sol Ruca is superstar. I mean, at the end of the day, they need to strap a rocket ship to her and just let her just take off and just be the new face of the women's division. Have her and Stephanie Vaquer get after it again. And that woman right there, she is a superstar. What she does in the ring right now is phenomenal.
So let me ask you this question. Would you bring her up with Zarya? Because they've been a pretty popular tag team in NXT together.
I think the problem that we have with Sol Ruca and Zarya coming in together now is that Sol Ruca is the only one that came to the main roster. So they're kind of like showcasing her like she's a single star in the main roster. I don't know if Zarya gets lost in the web of bad creative there. I think that when you have a talent like that that's in a tag team situation, I think you should always use the rockers as the mentality. Like at some point in time, Sol Ruca outgrows Zarya, and then they turn on each other. They feud for a while to make that segue, and then she just blossoms. But WWE has a lot of credit going to Sol Ruca right now, and I think that they just need to let her just be a singles competitor and do her thing.
How long until she hits the main roster this year?
I think that after the draft, I think they're having a draft right after WrestleMania, and I think we're going to see Sol come up to the main roster at that point.
Okay, I haven't heard that yet. I'll have to do some research on that. One of the fun moments in the Women's Rumble was this. I love Chelsea Green. I think she's amazing. I know we were debating this with our buddy Caleb. He is not a Chelsea Green fan. I don't know why. I think Chelsea Green is talented enough to actually be a main event player if they allowed her to be. But even on Unreal, they've kind of talked like one of the guys, Michael Hayes. I know you know who Michael Hayes is from the Freebirds. He's a main creative and producer there in WWE. He just talks about her like straight up, like she's the one to help others get over. And I'm like, I see that, but also I see what she could be if you allowed her to be. Because she's so talented in everything she does. She's great in the ring. Her character's amazing. And she could be such a fantastic heel. It would be amazing. She'd be the girl that you want to beat up. Not the one you just want other people to beat up and get over and move on to the next level, right? I just hate the way that they book her. But I thought this was fun. Rhea Ripley saluting. Chelsea Green played off that. She posted on Twitter and said, hey, no takebacks. Because you saluted. You're part of this. You're one of my slagents. No takebacks. So I love me some Chelsea Green. Rhea was okay in the Rumble. Nothing special. So you're so wrong. He's so wrong.
Caleb, I see what you're saying, but the comedic structure of the women's division, she's got that on lock. And so with that being said, there's a place for Chelsea Green. And if she wants to get serious about it, go watch some of her matches that she had against the men in AAA. she was an outstanding competitor in AAA against men. So there's something to be said about what Chelsea can bring to the dance.
So let's see. I did want to say Lash Legend had a great showing in the Rumble when it comes to the women. Again, too many tag teams, right? You got Rhea, you got Asuka, you got Kairi Sane, you've got Io Sky, Roxanne is in here, Liv Morgan's in here. Like half of the women in this ring right now are tag teams, right? I'm not going to respond to him anymore. The moment that's worth discussing, Brie Bella makes her return to WWE. And I will admit, she has one of the worst theme songs there is. That thing is unrecognizable and it sucks. Go, Ron.
You know, the Bella brand is such that you could have them come out to Happy Birthday to You. And in some cases, like Nikki has worn out her welcome, but all of a sudden you see Brie. And with that being said, she comes out and just gave the crowd an opportunity to pop. The crowd, which we haven't talked about yet at Royal Rumble, they're like, to me, it looked like it was half empty, the stadium. But when Brie Bella came out, it was like all of a sudden people just popped out of nowhere to like it was the biggest pop of the entire night. The Brie Bella walk to the ring. And so I don't dislike the Brie mode. Brie, like it's familiar to her and it does what it does.
I'm not into it. And we're going to talk about the Bellas here in just a sec. Moving on. As we finish up the Women's Royal Rumble, Tiffy Time came back. Tiffy Time. She made it into the final three. We got Sol Ruca, Tiffany Stratton, and Liv Morgan. I loved this. I love this because at this moment, I still, again, I picked Liv Morgan to win. I felt like the tea leaves were saying Liv Morgan was going to win. But in this moment, any three of these women could have won. And we would have been ecstatic for either of them, I think. Anyways, Tiffy winning would be fine. Liv winning, she's the right choice. And then if Sol Ruca won, strap that rocket ship on her and let's go. Like right. I'm ready for it. She did 2 snow snatchers in the match. They were both awesome. I was in it. Let's go. So, and then of course my pick for the winner of the Royal Rumble, Liv Morgan, made it happen. Your pick
never showed up.
Unfortunately for you, did not show up. She got stuck in Chicago or wherever she's from. Never made it out. I heard she was making ring gear herself. She couldn't get it done in time, so then she was out. She called Brie and said, "Hey, Brie, can you show up in my stead? Help me out."
She called Liv and she says, "Can you take my place as the Royal Rumble winner?"
And it's so crazy to me that Bianca didn't show up. Like, how bad is that finger?
You're right.
Like, it was a finger that was injured at WrestleMania, and we haven't seen her since. So, is she coming back soon? Before Elimination Chamber? Is she going to be in Elimination Chamber? What are we doing, man?
Right.
No.
And so for everybody that's tuned in and gonna tune in, we just want to thank you guys for checking out Smack Talk and Raw. Watch our theme song at the beginning because that's one of the best theme songs that you're going to see on the internet. So check that out. Do likes and comments, Caleb. I see where you're going with stuff, bro. Don't think that I'm not hearing you, what you're putting down. I see it, and I love it. And Oliver, you're new to the chat, and I love it. My favorite wrestler. Are you asking for current or of all time, Oliver? What you got?
Let's see what he's got going on. So we have that. All right. While we wait for Oliver to respond to us, we're going to move on to Raw because we had some stuff happen at Raw. He just says favorite.
Okay.
So favorite all time, favorite current. Give
My
them both, Ron. Who's your favorite of all time? Who's your current?
My favorite of all time is Shawn Michaels. His body of work was outstanding. He was super cocky back in the day when I was super cocky, so I just loved him. Ric Flair also is one of my favorites of all time. Just growing up with watching the Four Horsemen, he was incredible. My favorite wrestler right now, currently, is Oba Femi.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Oliver, I'll respond real quick. I like Hulk Hogan's still my guy. I'm an 80s child. Like the pray, eat your vitamins, workout. He was everywhere. I know he might not be the greatest person in the world, but when it comes to wrestling and what he did for the business, he's on the Mount Rushmore. And then when he went to WCW and did the whole heel turn there, created NWO, which you could say is arguably one of the greatest factions of all time as well. Like Hulk Hogan's there. And then currently, I struggle. I love Oba a lot. So Oba might be on there for me, but my man currently, my man Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, I'm all about him. I'm all about the Samoan werewolf and the Scottish warrior. Because if it's not Scottish, it's crap. So now we're moving on. We are on the road to WrestleMania. We do have Elimination Chamber a little bit later this month, but we are officially on the road to WrestleMania. Still kind of pissed off that it's in Vegas again. I do think it would have been much better in New Orleans.
Much better. Much better.
It is what it is. So we got a little bit of time left. We got to move through a couple quick topics I wanted to get your take on. Monday Night Raw. We had Braun Breaker lose his mind. I loved it. Him flipping over the announce table to start the show. Let's go. And then him kind of being overly aggressive, pissed off, and the Vision trying to keep him under wraps. I feel like that's starting to plant the seed. He is not long in the Vision. It's about time for him to break out. Would you agree?
I don't see him breaking out from the Vision. I just see there being a split at some point in time. It's going to be kind of like the NWO black and white versus the NWO red. They're just going to split. And I don't know if it's going to be Bronson and Braun or what's going to happen, but there's going to be something that happens that splits the group, and I think that thing is Seth Rollins.
I love it. I'm excited for that storyline. Let's see. So Braun Breaker. I got to show my man Javon Evans. I love him on Raw. Every time he's on a match, man, it's fantastic. It's fun. Even my wife puts down the phone for a second because she knows this guy is bouncy. Oh, I just love watching Javon Evans wrestle, and I'm seeing a lot of good things coming this guy's way in the future. He is a superstar in the making.
That's always been your guy. I just don't see. He's 21, and I hope he bulks up, right? Because he's way too skinny. And again, I don't see, like, I can't visualize him being a champion of any stature within WWE at this point. He's kind of like a young R-Truth.
Ooh. We'll see. I still see big things coming from Javon Evans. So then we had our guy Oba. And this is when you're getting released from WWE.
Yeah.
That they mark you for a tag team match, and the next thing you know, the up-and-comer comes out, destroys you and your tag team partner, and you don't have a match. The War Raiders are getting released. It's going to happen.
Their time here is done. Yeah.
And I feel bad, right? Because, just like in the NFL, when head coaches get fired, it's sad because their families got to move. They got to find a new job. Same thing in wrestling, right? When some of these guys get released, they've got to figure out what's next.
Yeah.
Right? And so I don't like saying that anybody's going to get released, but I feel like
the War Raiders are on the verge.
Yeah, War Raiders really, there's, You're not the New Day. You're not the Usos. They're still trying to breed up the Creed brothers. Got Otis and Kirizawa now being like #1 contenders. Like, it says a lot for you as tag team. Oh, Oba. He's not officially signed to Raw yet. They made that comment multiple times that he's technically still a free agent, and that Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are trying to sign him. Do you think he falls on Raw? I think he does.
Yeah, I think especially with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes and all those guys, you got to mix up. I mean, I'm going to say something that's going to sound controversial, but you got to mix up your brown skins to one brand, or you can't have them all piled into SmackDown. You can't have them all parked in the Raw, because that's going to put eyes on the product in a sideways way. So,
Ron, they don't all look the same, man.
I'm saying it how it is, bro. You can be mad at me if you want to, but hey, it is what it is.
I appreciate you being honest. So our buddy Caleb did mention this moment from last night on Raw when Gunther came out to AJ Styles theme music. That was pretty ice cold, man. I loved it. What'd you think of that?
I love it. Love it. I love Gunther, though. A lot of people give Gunther a lot of hate because of the fact that, they don't like the old school wrestling behaviors. I just see it as this. I see Gunther is this era's dominant Randy Orton type champion. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna do some things, and he's gonna be the person that's gonna move the needle forward until somebody eventually takes him out. And it's a cool time for him in his career.
Well, and you need those guys that you want to see them get their ass kicked. Like, that's Gunther. Like, that's kind of what they're building up to be. And you need those guys. You need those villains. And so I love it too. All right, getting back to the Bella Twins. This was the worst part of the show. This segment they did was awful. It was awful, man. Like, it had no continuity. I know what they were trying to do. Like, why did you come back, Brie? What's going on? They're putting Nikki in the tag. Like, to me, I'm like, great. And this is what I told Caleb, because he was, or was it Cody? Somebody was questioning this, and me, I was like, look, this is great because it's bringing the Bellas into the tag team division, and now we can get Rhea and Io out, or we can get Charlotte and Alexa out, right? Because to get them out, you got to bring another tag team in.
Right.
To keep that tag team division stacked with people to go against. Like, we don't want to see them have the same 4 or 5 matches every time. So I did like it from that perspective. And obviously they get a good pop when they come out. But what they were doing in the ring was awful, man. What'd you think?
You know what? They keep going back to the well, trying to look to find some spark of magic. And it's just unfortunate that what you're doing is putting stress on the product, because you're forcing people to look at Nikki and Brie as saviors for the division, and they're just not that. It's kind of like the Hardy Boys. That's why they belong in
TNA.
They can go out there and do that, and it's a good nostalgia act. Brie and Nikki, they don't fit in with the NXT girls. We didn't have a lot of the girls there that could have came up on the Royal Rumble and really made some big splashes. But Brie and Nikki, they're eye candy of a different era. They're not the same eye candy they were when they came into WWE 16 years ago. You know, if you want TNA inside of the WWE product, you have it. You don't need to go and search for it with Brie and Nikki. They've already done their time.
I don't know what you want us to answer, Oliver.
Oliver, are you asking if we're going to be talking about other programs like AEW, TNA, and that sort of thing? No, this is primarily a WWE follow-up. That's what we do from this vantage point.
We'll mention it, but we're not completely. I have been watching AEW Dynamite recently because we are going to a AEW show here in February. Here at the end of the month, they're coming to Denver. So we are going to be there. So I've been trying to kind of get an idea of who the characters are, who the main players are. I've seen a lot that I like. I am enjoying it. It's just I'd have to get a lot more invested to be able to talk about it intelligently, versus just kind of catching a
See you
couple
later,
shows here or
Oliver.
there.
See you later, Oliver. Thank you for your participation, brother.
Thanks, Oliver. We appreciate you, man. Keep bringing those questions. We love it.
Yes, love it, love it. So yeah, to scoot back in on Nikki and Bree, it's pretty cool that Bree is here because Daniel Bryan, he's in the other organization, kind of retired-ish, right? So it's kind of a little bit controversial that Bree came back. So what kind of money did they have to give her in order for her to make that appearance?
What's funny about Bree is everybody's doing the yes for her. Like, I found that really hilarious. That she's getting the yes chance. So, which again, I never liked in the first place. So like, but it's kind of funny seeing them do it for her. Yeah, I'm over. I think Nikki's had some decent matches as she's come back. She's gotten back into her groove, but she's still on, like, they're not on the level of the women that are now in WWE or the women that are in NXT. Like, they can't hold a candle to these ladies. Kalani Jordan would crush both of these girls.
Right. In a minute.
So moving on, we got a couple minutes left. I was pretty shocked by this one, my friend. I got to admit, if we were taking down picks, I probably would have picked Raquel, Big Sexy, to win the title based on Stephanie's ankle injury. And then play into the who's Liv Morgan going to choose? Jade Cargill, a beast, or her best friend in Raquel Rodriguez, right? I saw that as a great opportunity to have that story. So
I thought this was the worst women's championship match of all time.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
The only one that I think that was worse than this one was Wendy Richter versus Rockin' Robin back in 1986. This was pretty terrible.
I'll take this.
It was slow, it was plotting, and it was supposed to be a Philadelphia street fight. If I'm in that kind of Philadelphia street fight, I feel pretty confident that I can make some things happen inside of that match. There was no speed to it. Stephanie Vaquer, her title reign has become very mediocre. She was incredible in NXT, but as the women's world heavyweight champion, she has been very lackadaisical and very uninspired as the champion. Can't get a storyline out of her because she doesn't quite speak the language right. They should get somebody to be her manager or somebody to be in there so that we can be pumped up. I know she's a great wrestler because I watched her in NXT, and her wrestling will, but if you don't have her wrestling and you're relying on injury angles and stuff like that, it just isn't a good fit. And Raquel Rodriguez, she will never win a singles title. She's never been that girl. So I never expected Raquel to win.
I just thought with the whole Liv Morgan storyline that kind of fit with her winning this match. With the ankle injury as well, like, because they've been playing that up pretty hard. So I felt like those two things would help put Raquel over in this match. But to see Stephanie win it, and then we got this moment at the very end because Liv Morgan came out and tried to help Raquel and then ends up doing an oblivion on Stephanie to finish the match. And then we got that picture of her holding the title over her. Kind of leads to we're going to see Stephanie. Now, I will say this match was better than the Jade Cargill Tiffany Stratton match as World Heavyweight Championship matches go. But yes, I agree, like, wholeheartedly. As a street fight, it felt too, like, planned and scripted. Like, they didn't get out into the crowd. We got a table. The table at the end of the match barely got broke. Just nothing seemed to work. And I was excited for this match because I thought they were getting a great, getting a great feud going between these two, because Raquel is actually, you could make the argument, was the most improved wrestler of 2025 and could make sense to get her into that heavyweight and get her into that world title scene. But this match was just not good. I have a hard time thinking, was this one better or worse than the Raquel Rhea Ripley street fight? Because I kind of think it was worse. So I'm with you on that. And we love Stephanie Vaquer.
Yep.
So to have this happen is like, where are we going? What are we doing? So, and I think we're about done. I will say, Oliver, I don't know, man. I don't know if they hate Randy Orton right now. It seems like Randy's right there to just like, you could just put the belt on him anytime, give him that 15th run just for fun and see where it goes. But I don't know. I don't know what their plans are. And with so many new guys coming up, Trick Williams, Oba, you got guys to put the title on. I don't, maybe things have passed him by. I don't know. Last thing I wanted to mention as we finish up the show, we had a big update to NXT this week with Ava stepping down and not renewing her contract. What do you think about that, Ron?
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Yep. Bye, Felicia.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Right.
Some people started trying to make it about the LGBTQ community, being that the WWE quietly released her girlfriend Tatiana Dumas, which if you watch LFG, that girl just isn't it, man. Like I watched it, and I was like, nothing about her screams wrestler, and then she couldn't remember the matches. Like she was a complete liability in the matches. So, Sally Oliver, we're out, and SmackDown was on Friday. I can't remember SmackDown. SmackDown really wasn't that good before Royal Rumble, anyways.
Yeah,
so I just don't think there was anything to really comment about it, and that can happen. Sometimes we talk about SmackDown more. Sometimes we talk about Raw. I don't think Raw was
what's going
amazing.
On the flow. Like every time you check in, we're Smack Talking Raw. We go for about an hour. To close out the show, I want to give a little bit of hope. At the end of Monday Night Raw, we had Roman Reigns show back up as the Tribal Chief. And it was awesome to see the Tribal Chief show up on Monday Night Raw because he was on SmackDown, leading the bloodline during that time frame. And I think that wrestling has a little bit of hope in it because with Roman Reigns at the helm of this product that we have right here and giving some direction to the competitors and people that are following, I think that ultimately what we end up with next year is Roman Reigns versus The Rock for the World Heavyweight Champion versus the People's Championship belt to unify those suckers at WrestleMania 43. So we do this every week on Tuesday. We get on about 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time, whatever we're on right now. We have two professional wrestling fans. You got Pinky over there on the mic, and I'm on the mic, Ron Stradamus. And we're just two wrestling fans that love what it is that we do and what we hear on a week in and week out basis. And we're not going to be biased about the product. If the product sucks, we got 2 words for you, Triple H. Suck it. We'll see you guys next week, boys.
Peace.
Yeah. Smack Talking Raw. Ron and Pinky in the house. We the main event, yo, the crowd gon' scream. Cena hit the ring, you can see me themes.